Okay, so now where would I be in the Sifra that's Niyuta? We're starting like on page Tafresh Bet, and we're going to read the top. That's where we're at now. We went through a bunch of ideas. It's still a lot of ideas which are not clear 100%. So are we talking? Before we said, are we talking about the making of the kli in the first yichud between Abba and Ima, which is producing the kli, which is also known as Adam Rishon? Or we had the disclaimer that we're not talking about Adam Rishon. We're talking about just the making of a kli. What are we? But there's a hint there. So let's go over here. So he said, "Babir hameshul the fiha Grah." Nizbar gam kain inyan. We are talking about is yached yud b'chudui. That it really is yached really means it's isolated by itself. Besod hashena, which is the secret of the sleep of the darmita of Zeranpin. Ak ba'ofen acher, but it wants to talk about this in a different way. V'hu Abba masalek araso b'chasadim ugevuros dedas. Now let's say what is this now? Wait a minute. Abba has within him, I guess he has male female aspect. I'm not sure why he says Abba masalek haraso. He removes his light. Okay, so Das can't shoot his light up, stream his light out anymore. He removes it from the chasadim of the gevuros das. So why was it? Take a moment, because I want to think that normally I think of the gevuros of das coming from Ima, but it must be that Abba also contributes both to the same thing. V'az nafal b'china shena al zeranpin shena zeranpin falls asleep. This is because of what he said specifically, is that Abba removes his cheshbah from the chasadim of the gevuros. Za will no longer grow. V'nizbar sham od explains more the shorish hadavar hu b'silach ha'aras ha'lovan ha'elyon de'erik anpin. It really goes higher than that. It goes to the removal of the upper whiteness of Erik Anpin, Hameir ba'Abba, which shines into Abba. So we see that this penetrates up to a very high level. V'rei ba'aros sham b'shem the Arizal, so there could be stuff over there. Okay, we have so give me a few minutes. We'll try to get through number Gimel. He says number Gimel Reba or Yakar. Now the or Yakar previous is a Ramak. So sometimes it's a little chopped up. Let's see what he says. Shabir Khan explained in the Pidarko. Bibirusha Rishonah, now in the first Pirush. Shesod the Zer Anpin, it's the Yisod the Zer Anpin. Hanikra Yud. Okay, now we're going to call it this. Meir Mekoch Ha'aras Abba Ve'ima. How does it shine, or how does it shoot out, or stream out? That's a better word. Stream out the Shefa that's within it. The Shefa has to come from Abba Ve'ima. And he extends that, he streams it over to the nukva, besod tipas ha'holeda einsham. So this language that we've heard before. So what is it exactly? It's a tipa that's coming from Abba Ve'ima, and it's going into Zeranpin, and it's going to be streamed to the nuk. So now we want to talk about this. How does the Yisod, which is called the letter Yud, which is a Yud, and he's writing it Yud Vav Daled, Lamala el Abba Ve'ima, up above to Abba Ve'ima, lahamshek mechem es a tipa. Because he says it's the elevator that goes both ways. On the one hand, that you want to get the chef and bring it down, but on the other hand, in order to get that to happen, you have to what? What's his word? He has to Ketzad Ola HaYisod Lamala. How are you going to do that? V'zel L'sham L'sham, and this is his quote. So referring apparently to his first explanation, how is it in fact the Yisod goes ad ein tachlis ad ein? In other words, in a tachlis it means to the ein Sod Baruch Hu. God goes all the way up. He says, how did that happen? He said because the Yud gets isolated by itself. Now he said Yud here means Yisod. The Hainu Sod Bechinas HaYisod Kav Chut Dak, which is the line of a very fine, thin thread. Hamispashet Betochius Sheish Kitzvas. With this line, and again I'm trying to picture this in my mind. he says a yisod kav very thin that goes all the way through the 6 kitzvahs. Now, normally I would say this is a little bit difficult for me to hear how it works because the kitzvahs are arms and legs, and one's on the right, one's on the left. Okay, I think we got a little interruption here, but Rebbe's going to come back. He's going to come streaming back. And here he comes. Okay, so what would I say? I would say, in other words, if it was in a straight line, then you want to say that this chut is going straight up and down the middle line. But the truth is that it's 3 lines. So how does one chut go through all the spheres? That was my question there. Anyway, so it by itself, the hainu sod bechinas yisod kav chut dak. This is the line of a very thin thread. This thread goes through all the 3 lines. It goes through the right, left, and center. Ad aloso ad habina v'chachokma, until it moves through Zer Anpin and actually reaches that level. The hainu sod chut hashidra. So he said, what is this? I'll tell you, it's really the secret of the spinal cord. Hamoshach hakesef, which what? Streams or pulls or, no, streams. The kesef, the money, that is the payload, the hainu chazera min hamoach. That is, it dreams that, I don't know why I called it kesef. Very interesting why we call it kesef. But at any rate, hamoshach hakesef, because kesef is also associated with the name Ekia. So, with the Ekia, with the Milu of Yudin. Just thinking that. The Hainu HaZera min HaMoach, that is, it bringing down the Zera that's coming from the Moach into the white matter of the spinal cord. Behind the B'Chudui by itself, She'ein B'Sof HaGuf, She'eino B'Sod HaGuf. He said that this, I don't know what B'Chudui, I'll read it again. He says, the Hainu HaZera min HaMoach, because they're not coming from the body itself. But they're, let's read again. A very, very fine bechina. Misachedes joins together low for, I guess, he's talking about Zeranpin or the Yisod, I don't know. Besocha guf in the body. So he wants to say that this stream, this very thin line that was going through everything, is not from the body itself. It's coming from somewhere up above, but joins these spheros in some way. V'amar Odni said more than that. Basar came after this. Salig bedargoi la'ela, it goes up level by level, up, pirush. He bechinas yisod. That is, he's talking about what's our concept here. We're talking about the yisod. So the yisod is somehow connected to this chut. Ola besod bechinas madrigosov. It goes up to the aspect of what we call different levels. Ma'alo from one to the next. Betochius sheish kitzvos behind the bedargoi. He wants to say into the inside. This yisod is really has a connection inside of the spheres themselves. Behind the bedargoi, and he says the dargoi means the spheros. The spheres is their anpin. And then after that, it makes its way through all of those levels, makes it into brina la'ela ela chochma, into what's up above that, or panimi to that, which is choch with the hainu. So this is the secret of the sod, of the yisod, the nahar, which he says is another word for yisod, yotze me'edin. So Edin, I thought was Chochma. I think it's supposed to be Chochma. Yeah, the Chochma. Oh, he says it. So Yotze Me'edin Chochma. Lahashkos, in order to be able to bring Shefa, right, to water the gun. Kediprishna La'el Sham B'Sod Meshach HaTipa, that is the flowing of that Tipa, the Tipa Zera, Atazria Kachet. So it says Zera Hayora Kachet, sorry. That the Zera, which is shot like an arrow, downwards. So this is to give us a little view of how the Yisod moves its way up, goes up to the highest places possible, and is able inside of the spheros to come down through them and deliver the tipa down to the Yisod. I think that's what he means. This is Baruch. Thank you.